So today we are spraying our fruit trees. It is still in dormant season right now. We are close to getting to March, so for us between February and March is when we start spraying our fruit trees. And I'm also going to do my berry patch, all the blackberries and raspberries. And this will just help control fungus and insects whenever they start leafing out and through the season. Very important step to take care of your fruit trees and everything. It also goes for shrubs and flowers, stuff that comes back every year that you want to care for. So it's a really nice day. You want the temperatures to be between 40 degrees and 60 degrees and less wind. It's barely windy today, so it's a perfect day. It's sunny outside. You want the sun shining too to help dry up the spray whenever you get this on the fruit trees. So it'll dry quick and you'll have a really good, successful season. So we literally just mix copper and this horticulture all-season spray together in a 1-gallon sprayer, and you want to make sure that you're spraying the fruit trees, getting them really good and soaked to where they're dripping so they can dry onto the bark. And you can also do this 3 times a year, but springtime, right before spring hits, when they're still in dormant, is a very important stage of doing this spray. So he's just going along here and spraying every single branch, making sure it's all good and soaked, because you want it dripping to make sure you get a good coat on all your bark. So this is what our fruit tree orchard looks like. It's in our front yard, close to our front field here. And we planted these about 5 seasons ago. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 that we planted 5 seasons ago. And then on the left here we got some peach trees that I actually planted last year, and they're doing amazing. They're huge. They have grown so much since last year. This year we'll get some apples, and we haven't got peaches yet on our 5th year one, but I'm hoping this year we won't have a late freeze and we'll get some peaches. And then we have a cherry tree at the very end. So hopefully we get cherries this year. If not this year, definitely next year, because I pruned it pretty hard every year. So I got the tree how I want it now, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. You can see here how tall this peach tree is compared to my husband. This is the 5th year on this peach tree right here. I love ordering from this company. Their trees always do amazing. You get a one-time replacement. If something doesn't do well for the next year, you can replace it for free. One time. We actually had to do that on this apple tree right here, the first apple tree we have over here. The first one, the deer actually ate it, but it came back, but then it ended up dying. So we replaced this one for free. And this will be its 4th season, and then all the other ones are the 5th season. And then this will be the 2nd season on the left side of these peach trees. So everything's doing so good. Excited to get fruit this year. We got apples on both these trees. Last year we got 1 apple off this tree, and then quite a bit of apples off that tree last year. We actually had 1 peach 2 years ago, but a squirrel got it. And then last year I think we had a late frost, so we didn't get anything off that. Haven't got anything off of our cherry tree down there at all. These peach trees that I planted last year are really tall. I mean, they're way taller than me now, so I wonder if they're going to produce this year or not. If not, definitely next year, because they are good size. Another thing that I do to care for these trees is I always keep mulch on every single one to keep the weeds from taking over these trees, especially when they're young. And then I also try to keep some tree collars on the bottoms. That way if like rabbits, squirrels, anything comes along and wants to nibble at the bark on the bottom, it just protects it, which I am going to have to start replacing some of these because the trees are getting bigger in size. So I need to go up a size on the tree collars this year. And then we also do have deer that come along through here, which they haven't really bothered the apple tree yet this year. I've been going along and just kind of looking at the branches, making sure nothing's been chewed on. But you can see here is a good example that whenever we first plant, we usually put 2 T-posts on each side of our fruit trees. And then we put a chicken wire around when they're really young. That way, when deer do come through here, it helps protect the tree from them eating on the tree. So this year we're actually going to have to remove this chicken wire, and I might not even have to cover this one this year, but I'm going to have to do something about the deer because this one's still pretty young. It's a year behind all these other ones, so we might have to protect it still. I don't know yet. We'll see whenever I take it off and prune it. But I'm trying to get these trees tall enough so the deer won't bother them anymore. But this is basically our front yard. Our house is way over here. So now that we have cows up here, we do have a dog, but she usually stays in the garage at night. But whenever it's summertime, she usually sleeps outside. So she does kind of help. Whenever she barks at the deer will run off through the night. So it kind of helps protect our trees. We don't even have this is not fenced in or anything to keep deer out. So we kind of just risking it right now. But I mean, every tree that we planted did have a chicken wire around it to help whenever they're really young, because they won't survive whenever the deer eat. This cherry tree, here Jeff, will you stand by this cherry tree? I'm going to show how tall this cherry tree is. Actually probably the tallest one that we've planted so far. It's absolutely huge. How tall do you think this be?
Probably 9 maybe.
Maybe 9 feet. It's huge. And I've pruned it quite a bit, and it just came kind of funky looking whenever it came in the mail, whenever it was young. So every year I have pruned it pretty hard, but now I'm getting the shape that I want this cherry tree, so we might have to use a ladder whenever the cherries come on, which is fine. But I've got some pruning to do. You can see down here at the bottoms, I will be pruning off these little branches that are really low to the ground. It'll just help encourage everything else on top to grow better. I don't want anything close to the ground. I'm trying to find another good example. Probably over here. This tree that I planted last year. You can see all these branches down in here. I will be pruning of all these. Okay, moving out to the berry patch, we are spraying all of our blackberries. Now this berry patch is such a mess. I had no clue whenever I was putting this berry patch in of where and how to plant everything. If I could redo this, I would, but it is what it is. Some of these are so close together that it's hard to walk through here whenever the berries are on. But one day I will totally redo all of that. But he is going through here and spraying my blackberries and my raspberries. I'm not going to worry about my strawberries because they're covered in straw right now. But we are just going to make sure we are taking care of these blackberries, because I've noticed some bugs on the berries the past couple years. So I want to go ahead and knock this out too this year. This is actually my first year doing this. We just have extra in the spray bottle, so might as well just use all of it up. So this is what our berry patch looks like right now. We are in the end of February. Everything's in dormant, nothing's green. It's a tiny little berry patch, which is perfect for our family. And then you look over to the right, you can see the main garden. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray these hydrangea bushes right here in my front flower bed. again, I just have some left over and I just want to make sure that I'm using all of this spray up, so might as well just go ahead and hit these even though they haven't even popped up yet. And on the side of the house, we planted some maple trees a couple years ago. Me and my husband love maple trees. We love what they look like in the fall. They haven't grown very much though on this side of the house, which we have poor soil, so I'm not surprised, but we are going to go ahead and spray these trees this year to keep them safe. So this will conclude my fruit tree video. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.